This lesson will introduce you to the subjunctive mood in the Spanish language. This lesson will only focus on how to form the present subjunctive, and will not look at any other tense in the subjunctive mood, and it is only looking at how to form the subjunctive, not when to use it. Those things will be addressed in later lessons. So let's look at how to form the subjunctive. There are 3 steps to forming the subjunctive. Step 1. Go to the yo form of the verb in the present tense. So using our verb hablar, the present tense yo form of hablar is hablo. Second step, drop the o from the ending. So our hablo becomes hable. Now we're going to switch the endings. What do I mean by switching the endings? If it's an AR verb, use the usual present tense ER-IR verb endings, sorta. Now what do I mean by sorta? Well, for an AR verb, the subjunctive endings are es, hemos, eis, en. Note these are your ER endings, but the O form, rather than being an O, is now an E. So what does this look like with our verb hablar? Well, we went to the yo, hablo, dropped the O, hable, switch the endings and get hable, hables, hable, hablemos, habléis, hablen. Note that the yo and the el, ella, and usted forms are identical, so you will probably need to use a subject pronoun to clarify. So what do we do in an ER or IR verb? Go to the yo form of the verb in the present tense. So let's use our verb beber, to drink. The yo form is bebo, I drink. Drop the o from the end. Bebo becomes beb. Now we switch the endings, and since it's an ER verb, we'll use the AR endings from the present tense, sorta. And what do I mean? Note a, as, amos, ais, an. These are all almost the same as your present tense AR endings, except the a here in the yo form. Note also your yo and el, usted, and ella are identical, so using your subject pronouns may be necessary with the subjunctive. What does this look like with our verb beber? Well, we went beber becomes bebo, drop the o, beb, switch the endings, and we get beba, bebas, beba, bebamos, bebais, and beban. Now at this point you may be asking yourself, why can't I just drop the AR, ER, IR verb, like an ending of the verb, like I normally do, and just switch the endings? Well, we need to pick up some of these irregular yo patterns. And so the verb conocer is a good example. Conocer in the yo form becomes conozco. We drop the o off, and we get conozc. Switch the endings. It's an ER verb. I'm going to use an AR ending. And my subjunctive form will be conozca, conozcas, conozca. Notice I needed to go to the yo form and then keep that form through all of the different endings. You also need to pick up those go verbs. Verbs like salir, which means to go out. Salir becomes salgo. Drop the o, salg. And then switch the endings. It's an IR verb. Let's use the AR endings. Salga, salgas, salga. And notice I dragged that salg from the yo form in the present tense through all of the different forms in the subjunctive tense. You also need to pick up some stem-changing verbs. So a verb like encontrar. Well, encontrar is a stem changer. It means to find, to meet, or to encounter. Go back one syllable from the ending, and I've got an O there. O's that are stem changers become UEs in the stem, and we get encuentro, I find. Drop the O, encuentre. Switch the endings. It's an AR verb. Let's use the ER endings in the subjunctive. We get encuentre, encuentres, encuentre. And notice that spell change in the yo form goes through all of the forms in the subjunctive. Another challenge in the subjunctive mood are kar, gar, and zar verbs. We've seen these before. They're going to have some spelling changes to match the pronunciation. So kar will become ke. Gars will become ge. And zars will become se. And so a verb like buscar, go to the yo, busco, drop the o, busc, and then busque, busques, busque, etc. Jugar, juego, drop the o, jueg, switch the endings, but keep the spelling change now, juegue, juegues, juegue. Empezar. It becomes empiezo in the present tense, drop the o, empiez, switch the endings, and then keep the spelling change, empiece, empieces, empiece, etc. There are also quite a few that are just downright irregular in the subjunctive mood. Dar is an example. Dar means to give. It's an AR verb, so let's go to the yo form. Dar becomes doi. How am I going to drop the o? Well, I drop the oy in this case. And then I switch the endings. It's an AR verb. I'll use ER endings. And I get de, des, de, demos, des, den. Well, that doesn't look that irregular to me. But do not forget the accent marks on the yo and the el, ella, and usted forms. These accent marks are extremely important. De without an accent means of or from. De with an accent means that I give, or that he, she, or it gives. Estar is very similar in that sense. Estar, meaning to be feeling or located. The yo form in the present tense is estoy. Well, again, I can't just drop the o off. I have to drop the oy off. It's an AR verb. I'm going to use an ER ending. And I get este, estes, este, estemos, estes, and esten. Again, that doesn't look that irregular until you notice the accents on este, estes, este, and esten would not normally be there. These accents are important because they change the meaning of the word. Este, without an accent, means this. Este, with the accent, means that I am, or that he, she, or it is. Estes, without an accent, means these. Estes means that you be. Well, what about esten? Why is that accent necessary? I don't know of any other word which means esten. Well, esten has the accent just because Spanish hates us. Ser, to be as in personal characteristics. Well, go to the yo form, soy. Again, I can't drop the o, so I drop the oy. And then I switch the endings. It's an ER verb. I'll use those AR endings. But notice it is sea, seas, sea, seamos, seais, sean. Note also that this is pronounced sea and seas, not see and sees. Remember your vowel pronunciation in Spanish. Haber, to have. Well, haber in the present tense becomes hay, there is or there are. And so, haya, hayas, haya, hayamos, hayais, and hayan in the subjunctive, it's just plain irregular. Ir, to go. In the present tense, it is voy. Well, again, we can't drop just the o, so we're going to drop the oy. And then it's an IR verb. We're going to use our AR endings. And notice what we end up with. Vaya, vayas, vaya, vayamos, vayais, and vayan. Saber. Saber means to know facts or information. In the present tense, it is se with an accent mark. Well, I can't drop the O off that. There isn't an O to drop. And so they drop the accent mark, and it's an ER verb, so they're going to use AR endings again. But notice they threw a P in there. Sepa, sepas, sepa, sepamos, sepais, and sepan.